What if I told you that the average golf instructor doesn't teach enough in the follow-through and actually understand what's causing a lot of people's back pain? Stack and Tilt's 10 words, the last 2 words being hips tucked, is gonna help prevent a lot of lower back injury and help you hit the golf ball higher and further with a lot less effort. You see, as we age, we become a lot less mobile. I see way too many golfers as we get older with their hips spun back, the chest leaning down and forward, and my lumbar is in a really compromised position, and it makes it really hard to keep my arms straight. If I stay bent forward here and I try to lift my arms to the air, this is about as far as I can go. Well, if we take a look at most of the best tour pros in the game, none of them have their chest facing the ground at this position, and the only way that I can get my arms to go further around my body is to bend my elbows and lift. But if I take my pelvis and I push it forward and up, I can actually bend backwards a little bit and I can raise my arms further into the air with a lot less effort. But from this position, my hips are pushed under my lumbar and I can protect my lower back. It's the forward bend and the hips back while trying to arch your spine against that causes a lot of players' back injuries. I've got countless students who say that as soon as we fix their follow through and moving their hips towards the target and tucking them underneath your spine, that it alleviated a lot of pain in their golf swings, and it's allowed them to enjoy the game for a whole lot longer. The easiest way to work on pushing the hips forward and under our spine is to do a lot of the same drills that we do when we're working on trying to keep our arms straight. If you've got more questions about how to keep your arms straight, make sure to check out this video right here. You can also check the link in the comments as well as the description on hitting up my Stack and Tilt 10 words video playlist to learn about all the 2-word videos that we're trying to do to describe your golf swing and help you play the best golf. So the first easy drill that I would tell people to do is the rolling drill from the last video. You can do this around the putting green, you can do this on the chipping green, you can do this at your house by rolling a ball along the carpet. That I don't make a backswing, I push my hips forward so that my hips are over my left foot, my left knee's in front of my ankle, my left hip is at worst over my left ankle. Well, this presets the hips to be forward and tilted, and as long as my arms are straight, I have to keep pushing my hips and my belt buckle towards the target with all my weight off that foot. Now, if I roll this golf ball to the target, you're just gonna move and rotate your body to where you're facing 90 degrees, and you need to feel like the belt buckle is closer to the target than the buttons on your shirt, but your weight cannot be on your back foot. This is not hips tucked. This is not hips tucked. The hips pushing forward and past the lead ankle allow us to extend the left leg and bend backwards 5 to 10 degrees and be in a very comfortable position. So we roll golf balls towards our target, pushing the hips forward as much as we can, rolling the ball down the hallway and keeping the belt buckle towards the target. So we start this, once you learn how to roll the ball towards the target, we can actually start making little chip shots with short back swings, just focusing on keeping the weight forward, the shoulder down, the hands move in a little, the arms are straight, the hips are tucking and pushing forward, and I can start blending everything in very slowly. Solid, crisp contact. Legs extended, hips are tucked. If anybody in the viewers or the comments know anything about me, I tore a muscle in my back when I was younger that took me 1.5 years to recover from. Because it was a partial tear, no surgeon would operate on it, and they told me I just had to let it heal. It wasn't until I discovered Stack and Tilt that allows me to play golf pain-free. So we start just adding speed to this and length, always hitting the follow-through position of the belt forward and the chest up and leaning back 5 to 10 degrees. We can make swings longer, always keeping the hips up and towards, and I'm never gonna hurt my back from that position. There's a couple things we can do to practice this. We're gonna use this alignment stick, which I'll get into and how to use and how to set this up when you actually want to hit golf balls with it. But for now, we're going to picture this as the inside of a door frame. And what I want to feel is you're going to put your head about 1 inch away from the inside of the door frame, and you're going to actually make swings, pushing your hips past it, rotating, making sure that your head doesn't hit the door frame. It's one of the easiest ways to train how to push your hips forward and extend the spine so that your nose and your head don't hit the door frame or the wall. So we're gonna take the setup and either cross our shoulders or just hold our arms down in front of us. We're gonna set up about 1 inch to 1.5 inches off the door frame, and we're gonna practice making short back swings, pushing the hips past the door frame, turning and extending the spine so that I don't hit the door with my head, but I can push my hips as far forward as I want, and I can actually lean back here and balance on that foot without falling back. As we age, you're gonna have a little bit less lean back, but you're gonna be more straight up and down. Regardless of age, I don't ever wanna see somebody's hips back and the chest down. That's gonna make you hit the ball a little inconsistent. It's gonna usually drive shots a little bit lower, and it's gonna be a lot harder to hit the ball higher and further. When you play golf, if you're indoors practicing or whether you're outside, the wide golf alignment sticks when you're hitting golf balls inside, paired with a 6-foot-long mailbox reflector post, are a really good way to practice this when you're trying to get better and you actually want to hit a golf ball with it and make sure that you're doing this correctly. I like to take my setup, I take the stick and I put it 1 inch to 2 inches at most away from my left ear, and I'm trying to make swings hitting golf shots where I push the hips forward, extend my body as I turn so that my head doesn't ever go past that stick or catch it in the side of the ear. My hips can still move forward, my spine can extend, and it actually makes it a lot easier to keep my arms straighter. So when we've got to extend the spine for safety and to help you hit it higher, having a 6-foot-long alignment post is the easiest way to do it. So the biggest checkpoints behind having your hips tucked are understanding the positions in the follow-through and where we need them to go. We get to P9 when our chest and our hips are facing the target. Your arms should be extended with your arms together, squeezing the elbows at about chest high. Your belt buckle needs to always be forward of your lead ankle and closer to the target than that of the buttons on your shirt. We refer to this position as 90-90-90, and it's one of the best checkpoints that you can do to work on hitting the ball higher, further, with a lot less effort, and seeing maximum consistency on the golf course. Once you know you can apply the hips being tucked under the spine and get to 90-90-90, you can apply this to all 10 words in the stack and tilt system. Weight forward, shoulder down, hands in, arms straight, hips tucked. If you do those all in your golf swing, it makes it so much easier to know and diagnose what it is you're doing wrong. Everything we're going to talk about in the golf swing comes from something that's wrong with those 10 words. So when you're hitting the ball inconsistent, the contact's not great, and we're not hitting the ball far enough, and we're not hitting the ball high enough to play good golf, always come back to those 10 words, make a series of practice swings with those as your focus, and then let her rip. Nice high, tiny push draw, 165 yards in the air every single time. Make sure, click the link in the comments and the description below for my free guide on Stack and Tilt's 10 words so that when you go practice, you have the checkpoints and the drills that you need to do to get better and improve your golf game. Thank you guys so much for watching this week. Look forward to seeing you guys next time on the Golf TyKoon.